but the same could be said for SELVA, not necessarily in terms of the win rate, but the fact that SELVA just beat Legacy on the map makes me question why that's been allowed to come through from 2Game.
It's also their most played map. Their record's not great, but their record's not great on a lot of maps. They have a 0-3, 0-4, 0-3 record on Anubis, Dust 2, and Train, respectively. So, there's not a lot of maps that SELVA have that respectable record on, even if it is a 5-7. Like you said, beating Legacy, a big deal when it comes to the decider. So if SELVA can get to that third, they have a real shot of pulling off a victory versus 2Game. And as you mentioned, high stakes in this one. It's the lower bracket. Loser is out of the qualifier, and no one wants to go home this early. Pissed around is live. Middle is the call, and Detroit starts things off with the dualies. Luki's at range. It's gushed through the box and finished off. PKL is low as well. 4 versus 4. No kit in play. Detroit close ramp sees them crossing, but the dualies at range are going to struggle. He tries his hardest. Hard's out, caught with a nade out. Swings to support his teammate. So much damage done, and it's 2Game who get the kills. So many angles SELVA had to clear. They just got caught like deer in headlights with too many players looking from too many different directions. 2Game, solid start, 1-0 on their opponent's map pick.
1-0 on their opponent's pick, and Detroit putting in some serious work when it came to those pistols. Great job from him. No real weakness showcased by 2Game, though, on that A-hold. And so, SELVA will go back to the Glocks. 1 P250 for Destiny. No utility. And they'll wait out the Molotov, run out A, try and get a bomb plant. There's only one here, so the bomb plant is possible. That is the MP9 in Luki's hands. There is a fast rotation from PKL, though. That should really stymie any possible plant, as well as the fast flank around from T-Spawn as Detroit makes his way around. But here we'll see SELVA just wait, and they actually might just get backstabbed before they make a move here. They're taking way too long, and 2Game have all the information.
My issue is that the M4 gets overwhelmed. It only has 20 rounds.
That's true.
It's a wild spray. There's 3 here.
So smart.
And they overwhelm the MP9 to start things out. Detroit, there we go, pulls the trigger, finds 2. The third goes the way of his teammate. PKL also finds GBB. No plant gonna be. Oh, Nithon! So much damage done on the Glock. He takes out Detroit single-handedly. Sure, he didn't get the plant, but he wasn't gonna get it anyway. That flank on the ramp was too well timed. Very well done from 2Game to prevent the bomb plant, but losing 2 does sting a little bit.
It does do a little bit of a dent to the CT economy. And we'll see the lack of utility in Hardzao as a major symptom of that. There is a kit here for Detroit. At least there's that. 2Game come back into this round. Detroit spotted in towards middle. SELVA, of course, have all the AKs. Utility is solid as well. Didn't quite get the bomb plant out of that round, but it's alright. They got a couple of kills instead. Hardzao already opening it up, though. Damate squished in the opening engagement as Destiny takes fire and runs into the safety of the ladder room, but it's heard. It's chased back. Molotov might just force an engagement, though. However, both teams elect to not fight each other yet and just wait. Time ticking.
Minute 10 left, and there's only 1 smoke left for 2Game. Won't stop him, though. Boosting up around what utilities left on the field. They'll find 2 for the price of nothing. It's still 5 alive for 2Game, and only 1 alive now in Slash for SELVA. I was worried the amount of utility exchange in the middle might become an issue if SELVA transition into an execute with what little things they have left, but clearly that worry is misplaced. SELVA are dismantled in middle, and 2Game a chance to really build a CT economy quickly with that round and now this one, given that SELVA should be on a half buy.
Yeah, 2Game with a good opportunity to really establish a strong CT half early. I mean, they're not going to face too much in this round. I say that, but Tech-9's can always be dangerous around corners. But SELVA wants to prioritize getting an op into Nithon's hands now. That's going to be the big change. Can they get him the big green gun? Can they get him activated? What is going to be the play for SELVA in the next round? This one, bomb plant, be nice. Kills, be great. But you're really looking forward to that second gun round, that round number 5, to begin your streak, to begin your string. And of course, they have to string it together as well. So all these players group up in apartments. Zareva's Molotov ready to fire out and flame on. Keep them from getting close. Spots him through. Tosses an incendiary. Sprays away blindly and actually picks up 2. Plus all that damage to the GBB who dive bombs the site. Has the bomb in hand, but he's trying to clear it instead of get it down. And so it's dropped, as are his teammates. And Nithon imminent to fall as Detroit comes in on the stab. 4-0 start for 2 game and a relatively smooth one at that. This is the time for SELVA to make something happen, and a timeout into this round would not exactly be a miss.
No, it wouldn't. This is very smooth. So much smoother than what we saw in the last series, where it felt like more often than not the pistol round wasn't even converted. This is what round 3 was clean against the first rifle round. Round 4 was one player fault. It is the definition of what you should expect to be as clean. Detroit has his op in hand and still $5 grand in the bank. And SELVA back to grouping up top mid and underpass, hoping to find something. 2 games back to their style, playing in con, holding the extremities to an extent, and waiting for SELVA to push up with their utility.
Still out towards middle, looking to find an angle to exploit, an angle in. They do find one on a PKL. That slashes with the opener. But still plenty of options to move around the map for SELVA. They don't have to commit A or B just yet. Another one in towards middle. Hearts out, creeps in their window. Detroit's here with an op. And the Molotov actually goes up top. They're ready for this, and the head is spotted. The spray doesn't quite convert, and GBB will be the one to fall. Hardzao taking the engagement, and he spots out the op. But Nithon, with the bomb on his back, will not be unseated. Slashes, comes through the ladder room. Gets the drop on Detroit, putting Lukis and Zareba in a rough spot. One on each site, and they have to fight out. At least do some damage here. Destiny could be vulnerable here in jungle as well if he rotates, but he's going to actually get the spot on Lukis as who's the last man standing. As the op of Nithon activates early, and Destiny takes a dink, but the AK wins the headshot battle. And so, despite a little bit of a rough start, SELVA get themselves around the board, and it comes at just the right time.
Right before things get out of control. I will say the Molotov into ladder was clutch. It prevented them from boosting up. The smoke faded. They were spotted. They were figured out. And the op was bait and switched with a player who had gotten into ladder during the chaos. It was very well done from SELVA. Very well done from the opper to not overextend. And now they need to get a second on the board. That is the most important part of this. You need to convert that and stabilize your economy, because one isolated victory is not going to be enough. All 5 towards A, lining up utility. Good flashes over. The op of Detroit over towards triple is good for a first, and it throws a smoke to get out of dodge. Well done from Detroit. And he buys enough time for teammates to come in as well. Lukis finds 1. 3 versus 5, and these 3 are all stuck on the ramp side of things. Nithon's still in the choke point. And at this point, they're just hoping to be gifted an opportunity back into this round because their smokes are about to dissipate.
Destiny's out in the open, and will he get the drop on Hardzao? He does, but he can't convert the kill. Spray goes wrong, and GBB will have to get the trade. 2 versus 4, but GBB another one as Lukis goes hunting. The probe fails for 2 game. There's still a little bit of cover for Nithon to get that bomb down, but he's content to hold an angle with 42 seconds to go. They don't have to rush this. They will eventually want another kill. PKL moving up. Missed shot from Nithon actually takes some damage, and he will fall, putting GBB in an ace situation to try and win this round. But he thinks better of it and will run for the hills, conceding the round, and thereby isolating the one SELVA victory. It's 2 game. Will make it so they can't get 2 back-to-back. And they'll keep 3 alive as well. AKs to upgrade here, or there may be a double op setup if they really want to as well.
No.
Yeah, they had the option of doing it into this sprint round, but they didn't. They'll go for AKs instead. And SELVA, really rough start here.
Very rough. Now, there are some worrying signs from 2-game 2. That push through the smoke at triple, for example, giving SELVA a potential way back into it. But 2-game are looking the better team. SELVA, it seems like they throw their utility and show their hand too early, meet some resistance, and then just kind of stall out from there. They aren't acting with purpose. They get caught in the headlights and they just stop. They freeze. That can't be happening. Not when you use all your utility for said take.
There's a big one from Destiny to find. An opening pick as Molotov's bloom in front of him. He'll counter one on the hard side, but there's a gap in and he'll go through. Takes the pick onto Destiny. Almost drops the bomb as well, but at least gets that information plus the damage of the GBB. Zareba has to try to find something around B side, though, and it's not a fun spot to be alone in. Sprays away wildly, barely gets any damage done. The bomb will go down, and now I think it's going to be 2 games time to save, because their money is not great either. And so we go back and forth now, teams splitting rounds 1 and 1. Although it won't be as save-heavy as Inferno was in our previous series, we might be getting a bit of those here in the early going on Mirage.
Seems like we will. A lot of aggression from both teams middle. 2 games content with leaving it when the smokes go up the first time, but when it's done, they want to exert control. They're playing catwalk. They're not giving it up. And that leads to these early round advantages and then eventually saves as well. Really good play from Destiny there. Pushes through the smoke, catches Detroit in connector with the op, which now can't come through because there's no money left for 2-game. Oh, is there? Was it recovered? It must have been recovered.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't even notice it. So let's cobble something together. MP9 for Sudova over on B. PK on FAMAS. We want to see from one of your top hitters. Again, this early mid utility. Although this time around, SELVA aren't focusing on that side of things. They're looking towards underpass instead.
Well, Ultimate might just get a gift if Lukis gets antsy. Goes in for a Palace Peak. Hardzal. He's over towards mid again, not Detroit. He's in con, has support from stairs side as well, but his op is shown, and Nithon takes a shot a little aggressively. He misses that, and the smoke is there because they're aware of the fact that Hardzal might be around. The Molotov goes right into the boost, but there's going to be somebody up through there, and Hardzal should be aware. He heard the Molotov ticks. He should know the possibility is there.
You
Still
should.
have to be careful, though. They're getting stuck out in middle, and the bomb's just gotten mollied off on ramp. Lukis is thinking about pushing it, but GBB finally activates off of that boost. Hardzal not ready for it. Lukis around. I don't think he spotted the bomb as GBB nets another. Detroit coming through. GBB can activate, but it's Lukis with 2. He's got GBB and Destiny. Lukis falls, but time. 20 seconds to go. Bomb needs to go down. There's no more smokes to be thrown. The kills have to come through from SELVA. And they'll try to force the flank towards ramp. It's spotted, but not removed. Nithon takes a dink, but wins his fight against the MP9, putting Detroit in a 1 versus 3, which I think he's going to have to abandon now. As there's no
I don't think he's going to be allowed to save.
Yeah, there's no way. You have to hunt the op here if you are SELVA. Do not let it survive. Oh, and timing, too.
Nithon not committing yet. I'll let his teammate do that instead. Now he'll keep the op pinned. Detroit walks into it. Shadow betrays him. Free one for Nithon. And now SELVA are in the driver's seat. They've broken the CT economy. And 2-game know it. They call a tactical timeout going into this save round. SELVA. Opera's waking up. GBB's having a very good start as well, but if Tamata can get activated, it'll be a very different game. No one above 100 ADR either. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Couple close, Hardzao and Detroit. But on the SELVA side, only GBB is anywhere near it.
Appears to be a full save. One flash, probably a pop out middle if I had to guess. 2 games. They've been committing 3 players at mid almost every single round. 2 top con. One of them goes window if it's not smoked. And then 1 cat. It's a lot of commitment for these duels. Hardzao on his deagle. Gonna go towards B to spot in that direction. No one's here, of course. Gamble stack will be close ramp. I like this setup. But unfortunately for them, it is a con play.
If it's been spotted, at least the one player towards Ninja. Do SELVA still go A, though? That's the question, because they still can. All they've really seen is the guy Ninja. They're waffling about mid an awful lot. Not just this round. It's been a consistent trend.
Normally they waffle when they lose a player though. They're waffling for the sake of waffling.
And if you execute against pistols late in the round, that doesn't normally end well. That's a good pick. And that should spur them into this A site. The Molotov in for hell, that's going to go in. Smokes deep jungle. Yeah, they're going to go towards A now. 30 seconds on the clock. They really burned it close. And they should have this round locked down. There's only one here to kind of prevent a bomb plant in Detroit. Don't overextend, though, if you're one of these rifles. Why are you going to hunt the pistols here? Why are you going to hunt and give up guns as Destiny goes for one? Nython with another. Zareba is not going to face anything as he's got an AK in his hand. Picking up that B lurk. You just really shouldn't be taking that long to figure out what's going on against the half-buy, or even an eco in this scenario. You have to have a little more info.
You go for mid as part of an ends to a mean.
Yeah.
Or means to an end. What? We got it the other way around. A means to an end. And they got mid and they just sat there. They didn't have an idea. They didn't know what they wanted to do.
They were trying to play off the pick, I think.
Yeah, playing for picks is something you can do, but it's not something you should do
pistols.
every single time, and especially not against pistols.
Well, it's guns out for both sides again, but no omp for Detroit. Meanwhile, SELVA's slowly gotten themselves to within 1 round of 2 game. Utility going out. Nade goes in. Awful damage to PKL as he actually could have been stuck in that molly for more. The nade didn't slow him down as much as I thought it would. Still, he's down to 62 HP.
Detroit, middle. Trying to do what he did with the op. Not to the same effect, though. Lots of smokes left for 2 game. They have 4 on the belts at about 1:10. Looks like SELVA will go at least get somebody in connector. 2 in Palace. It's got to be a heavy A lean here. It's going to be an A play if I had to guess.
PKL might just stop it. There's his start.
Second spotted, a second found. There we go. Now it's just connector. And a lineup for him. He gets 4 with 1 mag. Nython, the last alive, finds 2 on the op. A third found with the quick scope. He's dinked down though, and 30 seconds left makes this very difficult. Especially with the player catwalk, or he's at underpass, excuse me. But Nython has an opportunity to go B and somehow potentially steal away this round.
He's going to slip a plant through here unless Hardzao stops it. Safe plant for Nython's a good idea. Hardzao knows what's coming. He's going to sprint through apartments. I believe Nython's heard him too. He's ready. Smoke goes in. That's going to telegraph more and more what's going on. Look how far away Luki's is, too. Hardzow's just going to wait. There's no kit for these guys. They're going to have to go. And Nithon has a full belt of util as well. Do they expect the op to play Van? Do they expect
only
him
one
to
round.
swap to something else? Oh, he only has one. That's... He makes it count. Glock out. Molly in. Way too late. Far too little. And I don't believe there's enough time for Lukey's here.
It's real close, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
He gets
Nithon pulled that off.
Is it a 1 versus 5 clutch?
It's a 1 versus 5 4K clutch.
Oh. Don't even know what to say to it.
I don't either, because he should have never been in that position.
No, it was very awkward across the board.
TKL goes and gets 4 of his own. PKL got 4 kills, and it wasn't enough to win the round.
Nope. It was not. And at this point, to ask what is enough, GBB is going to be this. It's close. GBB's ready to line up smokes. It's a nice, awkward half buy for 2 games, some pistols, and an MP9.
I still can't believe Nithon won that round.
It was so slow
I'm at a loss.
that I forgot it was a 1v5 because it took so long.
Yeah, and then he just goes, gets 3 kills on the op on A, slips the gap B, and now it's a 5-7 from Detroit that gets 2. And insanity reigns as he finds a 3rd. Still alive is Detroit. Nithon again in the clutch. This time a 1 versus 4 lineup. He gets 3.
It's the battle of the oppers. They don't have ops in hands, but they're both oppers. Two game. This time around, they make it count at least. And the half-buy victory means they can easily invest. Detroit has his off back. So does Nithon. Tomate and Slash are both on Galils, though, for Selva. And GBB is lacking utility. No direct challenge middle either from the op. Where is that weapon located? It's over in CT spawn. 2Game have given up the mid fights, the mid scrims. They're instead going to hold it from ticket booth, from top connector, and going to go from there. And I respect that call. I like that call.
Yeah, I do too. Let's see here. Nades out. Nades in. A little bit more damage onto GBB. Zareba thinks about going in for more. Gets the first onto the low HP player. Goes for the high HP player, and he finds him too. Hardzow up on Catwalk has Nithon dead to rights. And the op shot from Detroit lands. 2Game will find themselves up by 2 as we head into the break.
individually studded first half ends with 2-game at a slight advantage, 7-5, as they enter the T side of Selva's map pick. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the mic. And Selva with what I think is the first kit we've seen in a pistol round over both stages of this tournament. I don't think we saw any yesterday or today thus far.
I know we didn't today. I feel like there was one round yesterday where we saw it. But I could also
be fallen out of favor.
Thinking it was the North American qualifier last week. There's a possibility that that was the case. But you still got to get kills regardless, and right now it's Lukey, Zareba, and Detroit with 3 of the 4 on the board. Make it PKL to chime in with 4 for his team now. And Nython again in a 1 versus X, shut down by his nemesis. And 2-game the second half pistol. No bomb plant, doesn't matter, they got the win. And will Selva force buy is the better Hold on. Tomate has 1 kill.
Yeah. He got 1 kill on a pistol round. No, not a pistol round. He got 1 kill on an anti-eco.
How does he have 1 kill on 1 ping? 13 rounds played into round 14.
Don't ask these questions. Selva forced. Well, everybody except for Nython, he's saving front off. Selva's forced. Jumping Mac 10 drops Destiny in the underpass. And a push in towards apartments from an MP9, or actually a pair of MP9s, only shows information. 2-game. Have 3 middle. Have now 1 rotating around A to look for aggression there, because it's clear that Selva are getting antsy. Another window from Nython.
Flash up. Good diligent clear here from 2-game. They don't want to let anything through the gaps. They want to ensure that they're able to win, and cleanly. Take their opponent's pick, go into a very good map for them, not a good map for Selva of Anubis in map 2. Would mine be the last time they get to play, but they're walking into that stack indeed. GBB, Slashes, Tomate, all on MP9s. Nython, the most dangerous of them all, is the 5-7. One of those MP9s already unseated. Another one spotted and traded out in towards man. It's all up on Nython. He comes up with damage again, but how many times can you be... Nython, go clutch, man. Win us a round. Come on. Do it again. Do again.
Why is he always the last one in the clutch, too?
Yeah, I mean, he's just the last one to get faced there.
In that case, yeah.
And you can't really blame him as the last guy in that op round either.
It's also true.
I feel like he's just getting really unlucky.
That he is. Selva, have some Kevlar, have some pistols. It's a save for the most part. 2-game, the same game plan. 4 rifles, 2 of them being Galils, and 1 Mac 10. Selva aggressive on catwalk without Deagles, might I add. That's a very scary, difficult fight for them to take. Sudabug gets 1, Sudabug gets a 2nd, spots the 3rd, gets good damage, falls back, and lets Hard Zao harvest a bit of extra cash. Ukis spots 1 on B. There's 1 outside rat hole in the middle. That's all that remains for Selva now. GBB gets in, but he shouldn't find anything realistically. Okay.
Well, he did find 1. But only 1. 10-5 for 2-game. They're really starting to run away with this half and with this map in general. Once they got on the defense, they're really kicking it into high gear, winning their fights, and Selva have not really been able to respond. The only real bright spots for Selva have come by virtue of Nython. GBB's had a couple of moments as well, but everybody else, inconsequential. 9 kills between Slashes, Tomate, and Destiny. 9. That's the lowest kill count on 2-game.
Very big difference. I was looking at my notes as well from yesterday, Boggs. Every game that's gone to 3 has been the team that didn't pick the map taking the map, if that makes sense. So they've been trading maps and then going to a third. Except for the Legacy game, which was our first game yesterday. And it looks like that might continue here. Legacy was close as well. Nice shot to open things up. Opting duel won by Detroit, who's had a really solid map for himself. Marks out. Good clear from Tomate, but an even better spam from PKL. The Lil for Luquise isn't so successful. All 3 players are around A. Jungle, Window, and CT. And again, a Galil swings and misses. 2 players left and make it 1. Detroit, can you do what Nithon did? Can you pull off a 1v3 instead of a 1v5? First found. Good shot. Surely you heard the scope. Must have been heard by the player spawn. I'm not sure what happened there. GBB stuck now at triple. Buying time for the rotation. Not even required. GBB gets the kill and recovers the op for Nithon. Still 4 rounds separating these 2.
4 rounds, but another strong buy up for 2 game here. Galil is the only Mar on that. We'll get a technical pause here. We'll hope it's not a long one. Had a couple of those extend a little bit longer in our last series, particularly later on in Inferno. But we'll hope and pray that this one's quick. SELVA. They've got their first on the defensive side. Only took them 4 rounds. That is a quick one. That's nice. But now, what are we going to see from those players like Tomate, Slashes, and Destiny? PKL is also at 180 AR. Detroit at 97 for an Opera is ludicrous. Okay, we're back on a pause here. So it might be a little bit longer. We'll find out. That utility damage for 2 game is also insane. 3 players above 100. Detroit's at 84. PKL is almost at 200 utility damage. Meanwhile, Nithon and Tomate have 3 and 2 damage, respectively, with nades. The flashes as well. Everybody on 2 game with effective flashes. And then 6-3-3-1-0 for SELVA. On the T side start as well, just to add. It's a lot easier to get effective flashes on the T side than it is as the CTs.
The damage was really coming in, pummeling bottom connector, those nades. Because, again, SELVA put so much emphasis on getting connector control, it's very easy to bully that kind of tendency with utility. At least we haven't had a disconnect yet.
It's just a camera thing.
That's what I figured it was.
Making sure visuals are confirmed. Change to the online formats. Players have to show camera of them, their setups, and their screens. It's just an extra layer of protection.
Gotta make sure. It's probably the best anti-cheat we have.
Realistically speaking, it is. It's the best anti-cheat you could have, realistically speaking.
Just like having an admin stand behind you, except he can't move his head, and he has to look at his monitor instead.
Yeah. So, no more word.exe moments.
Yeah, at least you can't be walling. It's a big one, too.
I still can't believe Forsaken tried that on LAN.
It almost worked.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he actually got unbanned the other day, too. Like, after, it was like a 5-year ban from ESIC, and he finally got unbanned.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hope he's back in the big league soon. Tech pause concluded. Op boosted up in towards apartments, but Detroit is already there on the sofa, no less. Slash will get a trade via Luquise, who continued to push forward. But dropping the op and dropping one of the 2 stars of SELVA is a big one to find. Detroit now trying to fight middle. SELVA are sticking around in Con and on Cat, but they're not outright facing.
That smoke saves a life. Detroit was on the prowl. And his instincts told him there was somebody about to cross con. Destiny's in connector. Doesn't quite see anybody. And 2Gamers starting to burn down the clock, wasting time in middle. They're going to have to make a move some point soon.
It's going to be A. A player splitting in from ramp. Bomb is in mid though, and it could be caught from catwalk, or just get shut down outright right here and now. Destiny and Confines too. Shoulder peeks to see the third in Detroit. He'll get the kill nonetheless, but Sudaba needs to activate now. Good shot from the Opera. Player catwalk spotted. That is Sudaba getting low and taken down, but Detroit at least gets the trade. 15 seconds left. He's on for an ace, and he's just trying to figure out where Slash is. Slash is at a very slow map, as you highlighted earlier. Can he pull off what would be a critical clutch here? If they lose, it's going to be 11 and likely 12 because of how bad the economy is. Detroit walking CT, walks into the angle, still wins the fight. Detroit is unstoppable, indomitable on this map. He won't get his op back, but it feels like he can do no wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he fights his way into that round. He fights his way out. 121 damage per round as an opper. That's incredible stuff. 23 and 9. That's about what, a 3.1 KD?
It's not a 3.1.
Yeah, I did my math wrong.
It's 27 divided by -3.
Yeah, I was thinking it was 20. It was 7 by 3. I don't know why.
You're good.
Still, 2.5.
So over 2.
Kills
Over
per
2,
round.
yeah.
Or kills to death, rather. It's crazy.
Probably an unreal HLTV rating as well.
Yeah, I wonder what that is sitting at.
Because he has a tremendous amount of impact.
Oh, the impact rating's got to be nuts. We'll find out after the game. That'll be something to bring up going into map 2, which might just be coming up sooner rather than later, as SELVA's on FAMAS's, no kits, no utility, MP9 for slashes. Not a goodbye at all. Meanwhile, for 2Game, they have everything. In they go. Nade's chunky, but slashes around with the MP9, is stalling for time and taking players with him. Dink plus a kill. PKL, though, doubles it down. Slashes and Nithon removed, and Nithon has cooled off considerably into the second half. He's doing just about nothing here on the defense. Meanwhile, Destiny has really picked up the pace. But Tomate, GBB, and Destiny are forced to save going in to the final potential round of this map, as PKL puts Destiny 6 feet under, spots him crossing. The information is there, but how much do 2Game want to hunt, given their lack of overall economy? That extra gift on the exit might just be all they take.
It might be. Yeah, their money's not great. He's toying with the idea if a kill wants to be presented to them.
Terrorists win.
12-6 map point on their opponent's map. Pick 6 map points as well. And obviously, SELVA will purchase up what they can, but it's going to be difficult. No pause either going into this one. Straight into the action. No kit. I thought I had $700.
Mental's gone. Destiny also has 750. And they're running it up mid.
Change of pace, I guess.
And there's nobody here for 2Game. They put a little bit of pressure on, but it wasn't an overextension, and they just back away safely. Toy with the utility of SELVA, that meager bit of utility they possess into this round. And as it comes down to it, the take will come in towards A. Tomate here to receive with GBB. And neither side's going to get an entry on that. Smoke's going to come down to wall it off, and it's going to be a 5 versus 5 retake on this A side unless somebody dies to a smoke spam here. As the bomb gets chucked forward, there's a boost over top. And that's going to be our first kill of this round, is GBB over the smoke onto Zareba. He's very low, Demonte at 56 HP, but Destiny gets 2 kills out of nowhere, keeping a man advantage here for Selva as the kills from PKL come through.
Very narrow advantage again, no kit. They both fall back ramp. I believe it's planted for ramp as well. PKL sitting with Tetris. It'll be peaked, but Moss exchanges blows, and it actually wins, but Detroit, meanwhile, catches Ninth on stairs. Detroit swings to try and stop the defuse and is unsuccessful. They should have plenty of time on this defuse. Plenty is a relative term in this case. And so, they stay alive, Selva. 2 players live, they upgrade to AKs. And it looks like 2Game are relatively close to being broken economically as well. This is their last solid investment before they are forced to save. So if Selva can weather this storm, then they can get an 8th and probably a 9th off the back to bring it at least closer than it was.
Detroit's back on his op, though, which means he's back on his business. And Nithon does not have a big green. Relegated to the M4A1S. Lots of damage onto Lukey's. The op opening from Detroit onto GBB might just spur 2Game forward. Players around the map begin to activate. Heaven taking peeks. That's Zareba up in Palace. Ardzao stuck down underpass, keeping an eye for somebody to walk into snipers. Wary of the smoke con fading. So he'll back away, wait for more utility to come through.
Look at this. They're
B
gambling
stat.
B.
Yeah. They're full
Even
gambling B.
When there were 2 on A, quote unquote, they were still both middle. Like they weren't A. The A site has been abandoned for what feels like at least a minute. Ardsao boosted up outside of window. Site taken for more or less free. Destiny really finds something. No, that's Hardzao to get 2. Slash and Nithon down. Destiny smoked off in jungle. Will try to phase it. Hopefully catch PKL if he's lucky. And Detroit in the meanwhile drops Tomate. It's just Destiny. He's found 1. He's tagged a second, but he can't get anything more. It's 13-7. 2Game best their opponents on their map pick in a dominant fashion in 2Game. Make a statement and a case for closing this one out 2-0.
They do. That's a really strong showing from 2Game. They won both pistols. They never really looked back from that point. And Destiny just...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Map 2 in this series between 2Game and Selva. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the mic, and 2Game taking their opponent's map pick, 13-7, with statement standout performances from Detroit and PKL, 1.99 and 1.55 rating respectively, and a 90% cast for PKL and 85 for Hardzao. A tremendous depth for 2Game, and if that continues into the second map, we might have a very swift end to Selva's hopes in this qualifier.
Detroit was also 6-1 in opening duels. So everything working out well for 2Game as Lukey's come through to keep Hardzao alive. He'll eventually fall, but Lukey's adds another, goes back for more, and triple dips in the kill department as Detroit adds one of his own. Slashes last alive at a 1 versus 4. Needs to pull off the impossible as the bomb rests on the ground with 3 CTs hovering in its vicinity. He's spotted and removed. And so, 2Game pick up right where they left off, in the win column, dominating this Selva team.
Continuing. Now, the last game, given the disparity in individual performances, scoreline was pretty close. 13-7, especially when you have stand-up performances like that from the bulk of the 2Game squad. 13-7 is a relatively respectable scoreline. But SELVA, they can't have a relatively respectable scoreline. It's do or die. And again, we need to see someone stand out. We saw Nithon stand out in the first half of that last map. You see something similar from the rest of the team now. Sureba up first, finds one, tags the second quite low, and in fact pulls out the dualies to do a lot of heavy lifting. It's just one Glock left, and Detroit will spam him away. 4 for Detroit thus far. Sureba got 3 in that round, 1 on the MP9, 2 on the dualies. And the cleanest you can reasonably expect. 1 player falling, just an SMG dropped. Tremendous second round from 2 game. No bomb plants allowed means that SELVA is going to be lacking some utility if they want the AKs, which they do. Good setup for a solid start for 2 game.
Great setup for a solid start, and they just have to convert this here. First gun round of the half. If they can knock down SELVA on this T-side half of Anubis, where this map notoriously T-sided, and this might be the last Anubis played, at least in this region. Well, there's still more qualifier days to go, but Nate, I feel like this is going to be the last Anubis we cover. Unless it's added back into the map pool at some point in the future. That's T-sided.
It is T-sided. Hasn't looked T-sided thus far. GBB. Some damage on to Detroit, who's playing middle but passively. And there's 2 players on A now doubling back to look camera. GBB's pass. GBB's going to go in the smoke. Nade's going to betray him, but no, BK's not looking for it. Sureba gets the trade. The slash combines. Luke Keys in Detroit, though, swing out the smoke in Temple and secure a 2-man advantage.
I don't know how Detroit's able to get that spray under control.
He's an opera, too.
It doesn't look like it, though. He's rifling perfectly.
He's doing everything perfectly.
I mean, okay, he could have not gone down to 1 HP here. You know, that's kind of, you know, but he's got the molly kill, too. Oh, my gosh. He literally can do no wrong. Again, he's continuing to run rampant over SELVA. It's heavy cavalry over conscripted foot soldiery. There's no comparison right now.
It's a stampede. Pistols. Again, no bomb plant means that SELVA are going to, you know, have that loss bonus at least, but not the extra cash for utility. Straight middle. PKL is going to be tested. He had a good first map. And just be careful. Throws a Molotov, tries to buy time, doesn't get that. Sureba now flashed. He gets 1, pulls out the pistol, tries to find a second, can't quite do so. The A site is now open. Detroit again through the smoke tries to find something, but all he finds is the 1 dig of Slash. And it looks like SELVA might have finally found a winning recipe. Luquez alone in a main, the last alive, 1v3 now. And 2 are incredibly low on HP. This is doable. I'm not sure he knows that they're low, though.
But I think the kid's over by camera. So his time is a very scarce commodity here, and he might just save now. Time's gone down. Yeah, he's off. He's out. He's got to bail. There's no saving this round. And SELVA's Tech 9 push works out well. I feel like Zareba probably wishes he got at least 1 more out of that whole situation. And for SELVA as a whole, they got a little bit lucky. 2 games did a lot of damage, but didn't get enough in the kill department. Then they had a bit of that little smoke view. Slashes gets the AK upgrade up close and personal. That was a big boost. We'll have a technical pause here as Tomate has disconnected. So we'll wait for him to get back in. But SELVA, they needed a round. They needed it desperately. A lifeline. They found something.
And now we have both ops on the board as well. Nithon has his. He's yet to grace the scoreboard with his presence. Detroit has his. And still waiting on Tomate to reconnect. There he is. Might need a match medic. Yep. There it is. And we should see the same investments pretty much. Nithon getting the op drop. Detroit having his in hand as well. Is Sudepa on only a 5-7? That is the question. It looks like it. Lackluster utility for 2-game. They have the op. And as we saw on map 1, that cannot be overstated.
Well, in they go. The op's going to need to shine for 2-game. And PKL and Hardzao both would like to open their accounts here. Destiny will take some nade damage, jump away, and PKL will continue to do a little bit more damage with that M4. Molly goes in, Destiny is hemorrhaging, but PKL goes down for the count. GBB tagged as well. Zareba looks to try and salvage that M4. And he will be able to do that as smokes obscure the vision.
Where's that off? It's over on B alone.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's got the smoke beam main, and now it's going to post down towards E-box, which is where a lot of them are looking right now.
They might even walk it back.
Walking all the way up. Keys is going to be tested here. He's had a good start.
Hardzao's here too. This crossfire not going to be difficult to unseat as Tomate goes big for the first. Hardzao only good for 1. And doesn't matter where 2-game pick, they're only going to face 1 defender. But GBB and Destiny again low. So there is an opportunity, a chance, albeit slim, that it could work. But 2-game gamble.
It's a save.
Yeah.
Gamble on A. If it doesn't go A, call the save.
Yep. Save sim. Here we go.
Don't say that, man. Need to incentivize dying in the round. Just gonna say it.
So
I don't know how you do it.
That CTs receive less money for saving as a round loss bonus.
Yeah, T's get less too. Yeah.
Well, they don't get any.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they get 0.
So maybe minus 25% if you stay alive.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't think the econ changes were enough for the CT side. I feel like buffing that per kill bonus or adding some other sort of bonus and then making it so you don't get the bonus would be a good way to do it.
Oh yeah, that would work.
Because I'll be honest, 50 per kill is not a lot.
No, it's a maximum of 250 across every single player on the team.
That's a win harder thing. You don't want to win harder. You want to lose lesser.
Yeah.
You don't want to win harder. You want to lose lesser. You don't want to incentivize winning. You want to soften that blow that's been so backbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good they've addressed it.
Playing with it yesterday.
Gave me next to nothing.
Was it not? Was it even noticeable?
Oh.
So a step in the right direction, just not enough.
You're acknowledging the problem, but you're not solving it. BBB, speaking of solving a problem, he's found one on B. It's a stack. He's gotten 1, he's gotten 2, Slash has gotten 3 and 4, Nithon's gotten the 5th. Succinct and clean, as SELVA have quickly tied things up in this second map. As you'd expect, this is a CT, or a T-sided map, excuse me. And 2-game will have an investment now, again lacking utility. Only 1 Molotov. No kit. Full M-Force, at least. But no op for Detroit. Really leaves a difficult slot to fill.
He's still been more than proficient with the rifle, so I don't think it'll be an exact lack of firepower for him. I mean, yes, you want him on the op, of course. He's been so good with it. But it's not going to be a huge detracting factor. With the lack of utility, that will be. 3 smokes, a flash, and a molly.
Mid.
119. Yeah, nobody mid here for the CT side. There's a bit of a spot from PKL, but he's just got a molly in hand. He's going to see the information, drop the molly, retreat the site, and they're going to flame on through the fire, and they're going to get a kill. One in, one more for PKL, but only one. 2 for 1 trade on the entry. Yes, SELVA are taking damage, but it's not really mattering all that much. And as the utility blooms in front of the faces of the retakers, another save might just be on the cards. There's no kit. They don't have money.
Third round, we've seen a walk mid. It ends and works.
Yeah, with no utility in either. That is the way back in. Lukey's with 2, and it's all up on Nithon and Destiny now. Over towards main and mid. The op is coming towards camera. One's on the bomb. Nithon moves. Destiny one big one. Nithon, Tech 9 out. Still on the bomb. Still on the bomb!
He's got it!
And Hardzows kept him alive. Protect the president. And it works out well. 2 game up, 4-3. And it's a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill. Doesn't matter either way. The CTs keep a lead.
At least an early peak mid. Do something in middle. Please. They've walked and gotten all the way to double doors for free 3 times in a row.
And it's SELVA who are calling the TAC timeout after that.
I mean, I don't know if you looked at SELVA's stats, but they need a really solid first half.
They need a Nithon to start shooting back.
Yeah, Nithon's part of an answer, but their stats are a sub 30% win rate on the CT side.
So what you're saying is they need 8 out of this half.
8, 9. 9 would be nice.
But
9
it's
would be,
impossible.
impossible, yeah. 2 game would be, I'd say, over the moon with 6. Above average at the very least with 6. So,
Oh, yeah.
see a lot more trials for 2 game who still have invested a lot of their income. They're not economically set yet. SELVA still have a good amount of liquidity left in the bank. SELVA gonna change things up. It looks like a straight play over towards a main. I like the idea for a control of Canal. Zudoba gets 1, but he's immediately traded by that op that you mentioned needed to get activated. 2 game. At a disadvantage now. And SELVA are just grouped up outside of A. Do they actually want to commit to this, though? That's the question. Not committing, but they are showing presence. Looks like they might actually be doubling back down towards Hardzow. He's more worried about B main than he is about E-Box.
Well, he's here towards E-Box now. Spots out 1. Molly out, but it's way too late. Too far delayed, but the bomb is dropped and he wins that fight. It falls at his feet and he smokes it off. Nithon, though, charges in. Up to Detroit and PKL now to stall. Molotov out. SELVA have 3. 2 game have 2. And SELVA are not going to commit. Neither are 2 game. They're going to split the defense here. 1 on each site. And hope it's enough to hold. The utility's non-existent for the CTs, and they're going to be wary of mid. Looks like they've learned their lesson here, Nate.
I don't like that, though.
I don't either.
SELVA are going to exploit it.
It's going to be a free plant.
Yes, it is.
And they have a molly. It flashes. No smokes, but the op's going to hold this angle.
Detroit,
Case
where's
in
he going to
point.
hold during a save? Outside of, call it Shrek. 1, gonna go for it with that AK. Drops his gun a little bit too early. Dinks Tomate with the USP, but can't get the follow-up shot required to get the kill. That was deceptively close. We are gonna have a tech pause here. PKL disconnected from the server, it appears.
Now, why do you call it Shrek?
I was told it was called Shrek, like, when the map came out. I don't think it's actually called Shrek. I'm not sure what else to call it, though.
I've never heard it called Shrek, but I'm not opposed to it.
I like it. It's a funny name.
Yeah. Now, I feel like you could call an angle on Anubis maybe Shrek as get out of my swamp kind of deal. It's green water.
It's a canal. It's a beautiful canal.
One of the best canals you've ever seen.
A lot of the ones I see are normally gross, so yeah. Back 10 for Slash. Near full save for 2Game, who have Deagles and US Piece. Eagles get some damage in. Slash down a little bit low. PKL is trying to spam away. Again, bread and butter for Selva. Get mid control. What can 2Game do? The answer is very little. Stack over towards A. I like it. Here come the Deagles. One for Hards out. Swing out from Temple. PKL finds the second. And they're all still standing. The MAC-10 finds nothing. Tomate gets one. But still, they're low. With a 4v2. Bomb is still also in no man's land. No shots connected there. Hards out continuing to press on low HP. He gets one. Tags the second. Can they finally get the finisher? Can 2Game win this save? Yes, they can. PKL gets the kill through the wall. And that is an important round that could swing things back to the favor of 2Game. Selva's economy, their liquidity is now gone. They're going to buy what they can. And 2Game got a massive injection of cash and weaponry because of that upset.
And it's not like they have any non-liquid assets they can sell. All they have is what's in the bank account. They have a Galil on Destiny. The Ops out over top on both sides. Lucas, an aggressive Canals hold. Has to be careful with that duel. And now the Ops posted on that angle too. They're expecting Lucas around. The secondary smoke will at least clue him into what's going on. But it's going to be an A take. No Op here. The Ops over on B. The only rotator is the mid player in PKL, who's been very silent here in this second map, compared to his strong performance in the first. Joreba picked off by GBB. Overexposed around that smoke. PKL trying to come through and help, but he's flashed away. Slashes lurking around middle. Can do something as well. He's just kind of hanging out, waiting to pounce. Once all those CTs focus on the take, on the retake, and he can snipe Detroit from doors. A critical player to remove from the field of play. Tomate behind the box is taking cover. Hardzau reveals his position too. Kits are here. And so is PKL. He's got two. And maybe just having more. Nithon to hold. But he's gone to Hardzau. The Flames take another. And Hardzau with three. PKL with two. And the Pain Gaming duo from so long ago strike for 2Game again. And just when it seemed a little bit rocky and a little bit shaky, 2Game with 6 and a chance for more. Selva, no money for a full buy. What are they going to be able to do here to break back into this map, into this series? A timeout called, and that is their option. They need to talk about what's in store.
6-6 is a minimum. Absolute minimum. And that would require them playing out of their mind on CT's side. This is dire straits at this point. Just given the stats. Let's look at these overall performances. 100 ADR is the top of the server for Slash. Unfortunately, Destiny, Nithon, and Fallen Silent, and they were two of the heavier hitters in the last map.
And then, look, you got 3 players on 90 plus on 2Game.
So the depth of 2Game is what's really putting them across the line. 238 utility damage for PKL as well.
Monstrous util damage. The flashes too, everybody flashing in for 2Game. The same could not be said for Selva. That's been a big differentiating factor on Mirage too. The effective flashbangs used by 2Game, allowing them to get more space, buy more time, and have better duels. That's just how important flashbangs are for all you aspiring players in the server and chat watching us right now. PKL only gets 1. Luki's taken down by slashes. PKL a little bit tardy in that kill. And so, Zoreba looking for something, doesn't get anything at all, and Selva storming their way in a fast mid take. This mid has been very, very weak for 2Game. And Selva go back to exploit it.
They do. The fact that Canals player goes down is so unfortunate. That's something that should not happen. Cards out, holding mid, looking for exits. Gets 1. Spots a second. Still toying with the idea of going for this. He's looking for the op. Can't afford that in the next round unless he saves it. So, worthwhile endeavor from him.
Well, at least the op can go back to Detroit, who has not had as stellar of a performance here on Anubis as he did on Mirage. It is a much more difficult map to op on than Mirage, which, I mean, Mirage is pretty much good for anything. SELVA here. They need that 6th. Desperately. How can they find it?
They have the advantage at least.
Yeah, the FAMAS's lack of utility, that's something that can tip the scales back to their favor.
I don't think we've seen a B main tank at all.
I don't think we have, no.
This is a change that could work out. Only 2 B defenders now. This could be the play. We'll go for the peek. Nobody's here. He's doing a good job of maintaining control of that part of the map. Good peek as well. Opening for him. It's not been as explosive for his op, but it's still been very impactful. Hard Zao now at bat and B main. Ready to come in. Moss spray Belair, but it lands. DBB though also drops Hard Zao. It's 3 before an answer from PKL, and that answer's only 1 kill. Sudeba alone. 1v2. Last round of the half. No reason to save, and he has a Moss. Through Temple he'll come. Where are these 2 playing? Ninthon and Destiny both in E-Box. Sudeba, clear out Plat. Pizza's clear. Could be 1 pillar, could be 1 B main. Smoke the bomb. Now they begin to worry. They're both spotted. Sudeba takes the fight, tries to find it. Instead, it will be SELVA to tie things up back at 6. Will it be enough? We'll find out after the break.
We ain't never slipping round here. This another level, this one over here is very rare. We don't do no talking round here. We don't play no games round here. We ain't never slipping round here. This another level, this one over here is very rare. This another level, this one over here is very rare. This another level, this one over here is very rare. I was in the corner sweating till the lights came. Man don't ever sleep, step out on this night train. Right brain, man will blow your mind like a migraine. I was busting up these spots, pulling something out my socks. Man was shuffling out of blocks, phone and vibrate. I don't need to talk to Frank, I did it my way. Never slipping, never tripping, never violate. We don't gas around here, we on a higher rate. We don't do no talking round here. We don't play no games round here. We ain't never slipping round here. This another level, this one over here is very rare. We don't do no talking round here. We don't play no games round here. We ain't never slipping round here. This another level, this one over here is very rare.
Well, a tie scoreline into the second half might look good for SELVA at first glance, until you realize they started on the T side of Anubis. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips with you for this elimination matchup in the ESL Pro League Season 22 South American qualifier. 2-game. Not quite as overpowered as they were on Mirage, but still looking strong. And storming into this B site on the pistol. Python around the obelisk. One, actually it's GBB to get one on the dualies, but Lukey's has 2 on the Glock, and that's made it a man advantage for 2-game here as they get the bomb down. Tomate not going to clear, Lukey's out. And so, the CTs drop 1 by 1. Detroit adds 2. And if I'm not mistaken, Nate, that's the exact same pair who got the kills on the first pistol round for 2-game.
I believe so. 7-6, they regain their lead. SELVA gonna force, already feeling that pressure. And if 2-game, I should say, win this second round, convert the pistol, it'll be 8-6, probably a 9-6. And they kind of just run away with it on the T side, especially given their pedigree on this map.
Well, it all rests on these next few rounds for SELVA. What are we going to see from them? Backs against the wall. Elimination looming. A flash in. I like the idea, and it works for 1. PKL here, though, holds the line for 2. Although he's wounded, he's got help from longtime teammate Hardzao. It's a 3-man mop-up in middle as 2-game exploit again. It was a good idea from SELVA, but they could not get past PKL. GBB, 1 kill, runs away. Should be able to get out safely, but now he's in a 1 versus 3. The bomb, far removed from any particular site right now, will be recovered as GBB's MP9 will try to close a gap and find somebody looking the wrong direction into a 1 versus 2. Tough clutch situation, and the first test is Hardzao. A very difficult one, which he will not clear. And so, it's the anti-force by victory for 2-game. And SELVA, nothing but pistols into this next round. Not good at all for their comeback chances.
It's not, but do you remember the first round they won on T side? It was a Tech 9 rush, I believe, in middle. So don't count them out.
True.
Maybe they just need to get the ball rolling with a half buy. So do this, do the rifle round, lose that, go down 6-10, and then win the pistol round and win out. I doubt that's how it'll play out, but you can cope every once in a while.
I mean, hey, we got copium buys now. We'll see if we cope. We'll see how it works.
4 on B, 1 at camera. Beginning to double back to look towards Temple. Bomb is again very far removed. It's in T-spawn. I think Lukey's, or no, Hardzao's going back to get that now. Lukey's needs to be careful in middle with so many players here. 1 found. Swing out the smoke. 2nd found. 3rd, not quite, but they're still fighting. Destiny, double dig though. That's 2 AKs recoverable. Or is it? They both cross and they're both caught. Greedily so. GBB flanking B main. I think Hardzao's waiting for his teammate to group up with him to bring the bomb over. Yes, he is. GBB can get an upgrade here at mid doors. But a 1v3, even with an AK, seems like too much to ask.
He might even just elect to save this into the next round. Extra firepower. The AK far superior than the M4. I think that's going to be his idea. Not a bad
Smart
sticker
idea.
craft there on the red line either.
It's not for I buy power hollows. I don't really care.
There's one. I think it's a paper though.
I can't even tell. I saw one with a couple on it. I think that is a paper, though. You're right.
Terrorists win.
Well, time's beginning to run out for SELVA. The hourglass is beginning to slow. They have the op for Nithon, the M4s and the AK, kits on 2. Utility is solid aside from Nithon. This is a must-win round for SELVA now. You lose this round if you're SELVA, it's over. It's all over. And that is not the situation they want to find themselves in. Ollie's down, flashes in, op looking, praying for picks. Lukey's. He's holding for a push. And Slash is going to flash in. Nithon has the flash assist. Slash with the finish. And an opening pick for SELVA here. Just what they need, but they need more. Much more of that. Smoke gone. Hardzao will not fall. And he's been a difficult one to destroy. So good in this map. 16 and 7. Lukey's at 13. Detroit and PKL 10 apiece. Everyone's doing their jobs on 2-game. Molotov forces Hardzao into the open, though. And we're now in a 4 versus 2 situation. SELVA minimize their casualties, find a round victory, strings them together. They're back in this ball game. Tomonte's got to be careful not to get caught.
Detroit walking into this op seems like a certain death wish, but what else can he really do? All 4 rotating around. Detroit doing the same around carpets. 35 seconds left. Everybody's here. Flash will go in. Peek to heaven. Good damage, but no kill. Swing will come through from the Galil. It'll get damage and info, but nothing more. Everybody posted on this angle. Detroit misses the shot. Tries to reposition. Hopes that somebody will swing and overextend. He'll get one. Almost a second. Almost rechambers there, but can't quite get it across the line. So, SELVA to stay alive. 7-9. A required round victory. And a required second tier on the back of it as well. You can tell 2-game. They know if they win 1 round, they'll break this economy. They want to press the issue, even if it means a very subpar and scrappy buy.
They're going to keep going. They feel that they have what it takes to unseat SELVA and isolate that round victory, deny their chance, their momentum, and that hope before it can really grow and flourish. 2-game. Defaulting out, looking for aggression from SELVA. None of that's come yet. Flash in, forces Tomonte away. And overall, a pretty stock standard slow start from the T's. SELVA don't really need to push for anything, but the op is going for a peek at main, unsupported, and it falls! An amazing gamble that... Why are you going for an op peek there?
Unknown. There was just one P250 and it wins the duel. Now mid's being open and taken. SELVA realized their mistake when smoke goes down towards camera. Tease tries to go forward. They try to swing the smoke as 3, and they find 2 for 1. But that still only ties things up. Now everybody on the 2-game has a weapon. There's still a lot of time to work with. Potential reaggress middle. There's still 2 here to defend. SELVA know the importance of this part of the map. Hold on. Lil walking in, gets the AK, excuse me, to get the kill. The op misses the shot on the GBB, but GBB has a lot of players coming in his direction. Only 1 for him. Just Destiny. I think he's heard in towards Temple. The Molotov will keep him at bay. Does he get any kills on the cross? He gets some damage in. He's waiting for Hardzao, so hopefully he can isolate a 1-on-1 duel. Flash comes in, and Hardzao swings off it. Tremendous win for 2-game esports, who now sit at 10. And are now going up against a very compromised SELVA investment. SELVA, they're going to buy what they can. MP9s, a Vermoss. Another Vermoss. Nithon contemplating the M4. Just can't quite afford the op, unfortunately. And this MAC-10 could wreak havoc from PKL. Headshots will be incredibly damaging. Detroit wants to press the advantage by peeking over the smoke B main.
Why does Nithon push with the op in that last round, gives up the free kill, and starts the snowball? This time Detroit takes out GBB, who's been strong, gets the op pick over the blown up smoke. Destiny taking damage as well. PKL's low, but Hardzao gets one. Nithon only one as Slashes falls on the side as well. B site compromised, overwhelmed, and overturned. Tomate, the last one standing, running away to try and save for whatever pittance it is worth. An MP9, a Molotov, and a flashbang. Kevlar vest, not even a kit. And his save, a futile gesture. As 2 rounds separate, 2-game and victory here in 2-0 fashion. 2-game are looking hot and hungry for another match. It's not going to be easy. They're going to play the winner of Audic and Red Canids, but still. The precious VRS points and the opportunity is there.
Yes, it is. Pistols and MP9. Tomate actually bought down.
Yeah.
He could be on MP9s for the rest of this series.
It's an interesting gamble.
When you gonna make?
SELVA have been making a lot of gambles, and it hasn't exactly paid off. And that nade is going to do nice damage. Flashes! The flash in for him does nothing. Lukey's there to deny, and he's going to continue to push forward for Nithon as well. Mid is Lukey's and 2-games domain on the T side. SELVA facing much the same predicament as 2-game were on their defensive end.
Everybody on 2-game above 10 kills. Everybody at double digits. It's just the depth of this team is undoing SELVA. We only have 2 above 10. Lukey's gets another spot. More information. Tomate, that MP9 gets good lineup too. Gets some damage, but no kill. Hardzao finds Destiny. Sudeba finds Tomate. GBB. 5-7 armor. Probably going to try to save his armor at this point. Try to play for series point. Or against series point, I should say. 12-7 seems undeniable. Finally migrating around, and Detroit posted on this B main push for quite a while is rewarded. 12-7 series point, 5 series points for 2G. 2 games. As they look to close it in just 2 games.
They took a map off Legacy. They might take down SELVA and survive to day 2 of the closed qualifier for ESL Pro League Season 22. Not a bad time here for 2-game. SELVA, their last-ditch fight. Nade goes in, nade goes deep, Destiny chunked low, counter utility about equivalent onto Lukey's, who's been all over the map on this T side looking for entries. He's been great on this map in general, CT and T half. There really has not been a weak point to 2-games roster. Has been the major differentiating factor between these 2 teams. PKL, who had a stellar map 1, slower map 2, getting to exchange Molotovs out towards E-Box. Time running down Tomate. Flashed in, sees nothing. Nades out. I'm not sure what that, I guess expecting somebody close. He would have seen somebody on that peak, so interesting nade there. Detroit's got the opener, though. And this is where Nithon really has to show up. PKL, another one, and GBB tried to go aggressive. Destiny one, but he takes too much damage. Missed shot from Nithon. Second try, hits it onto Lukey's. Hardzao, though, opens up the B site. Bomb to be recovered and brought on in. Op shot from Nithon. Detroit has gone down. And into the 2v2, there is a chance, but look at Hardzao's advanced position. Ready to take down anybody. It's a matter of time, and he's got the right read. Tomate walks right into his crosshair. Nithon spotted out towards top middle. Nade onto his position. Chunky at that. And Zoreba waiting for reinforcements. Might just get pushed on. Wallbang shot. Not enough for Nithon. At 2-game. Advance in 2 maps to the next round of Stage 2 of Season 22 Pro League qualifiers.
Yes, they do, and unfortunately for SELVA, SELVA, they are eliminated from contention, no longer able to compete for that single solitary spot at Pro League for South America. It's a bittersweet moment for them, but 2 game brought